Don't look. I went through great effort not to say which campus you went through, and if you say which campus you went through, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be like, God damn it! Where do you squander all my effort? You know how much of a headache I'm.
It's so vague. I'm like, what the fuck is?
Because even when I'm drunk, I can still be respectful. That's why I'm a good drinking buddy. Because
I'm saying you could just whisper it in my ear.
I'm not gonna whisper into your fucking ear. I have no volume control when I'm like this. I'm just maxed volume.
Just like
constantly.
write it. I don't know. Write it on my phone or your phone and just be like, hey. And I'll be like, oh well, I don't know.
I'm not writing it on shit. You just use your brain. How about that? You got a brain in there. Supposedly, you go to a better college than I do, a higher rated college. You don't ever let me forget. So that means that because you go to your super college, I expect more. Okay. I expect more. A 3.7 where you go is like a 4.7 where I go, okay? You understand?
No. Yes, I understand. Okay. No.
So if you get a 2 but if you get a 2.2, it's like if you got a 1.1. Okay? It's like you either succeed or fail.
I understand.
Okay? I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Okay, sorry. Let's do why TikTok's evil again.
Okay.
Oh God. So we had this talk before, but I guess we should bring it up again just because we had an audio failure.
But it got passed, right?
It did. The ban got revived as a part. Let's see. So let's go through real quick. Legislation that could ban TikTok in the U.S. if its China-based owner doesn't sell its stake won a major boost late Wednesday when the House Republicans included it in a package of bills that would send aid to Ukraine and Israel. The bill could be law as soon as next week if Congress moves quickly.
We're on the ticking clock, huh?
Holy shit!
So now they passed the they passed it.
They now just have to go through the Senate, and if the Senate passes it, Joe Biden's already.
I like how like the bill was going through the whole YouTube circuit and podcast circuit of like, oh, are they gonna ban it? It's in this law. It doesn't get passed, but then this foreign aid bill. It gets passed through. I haven't really seen people talk about the foreign aid bill.
Maybe we should tie this in the Compton piece together because I feel like I'm going to repeat myself. The government has all the time and energy to fuck you over, to stop you from helping yourself. Because not only, I get the security risk and all that involved in this. And we've already talked about it before. We can even go through it again. But there's another point to consider. A lot of people make their money off this job, off that.
Yeah.
A lot of people get their starts off of it. So cutting that off, it's like you just kicked out the fucking ladder for people. So, of course they're going to be mad. You can give them any alternatives. But on another level, it's like...
Well, there's YouTube Shorts.
Oh, God.
You know?
Christ. I mean, they're hostile, but not as hostile. Not... Oh, God. But yeah, it's like, you know, you're kind of screwing over a lot of people who made their businesses through TikTok.
Rough biscuits. You know, Daddy Biden, he signed it away. Your whole business, your online e-shop, gone.
Hey, youngins who run not even youngins, you guys are my age. What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, this is a bill.
Vote, y'all, because
if young people voted, this probably would not have passed.
This probably wouldn't have happened. This probably wouldn't even be in consideration. This would be political death.
But then again, I don't think I really have a big issue with, I don't know. I think about TikTok getting banned. I understand there's a lot of foreign security problems.
Yeah. I think the government hasn't made a good case for themselves, if I'm being honest. Because, I've heard that around a lot, and you have to talk to experts to really understand it. But, I don't think they made a good case about the security issue, personally.
The messaging that they've done, no. Mm-hmm. The YouTube video we watched before, I think he made a good case.
Yeah.
But then again, I also think, there's a lot of steps you could do on, YouTube, Instagram. I can see why people would say, how come they don't care about other platforms? This is just because it's China? On a level, yeah. But I think it's not just because it's China. I think it's because they're a foreign adversary, you know?
They are. I mean, they're an economic and military competitor. At the end of the day, we compete with them on both of those fronts, right? Mm-hmm. However... that was the one take I think that I bring that is a little different. I wish we used this more constructively. I wish we said, China... because China's locked out all our apps. That's my problem with this, is that it's been a one-way streak. I'm okay if we ban TikTok, but I wish we would have went a different route with it and went like, hey, we'll let you keep your stake in China in TikTok here in the U.S. if you allow, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram to stay in your country untethered, and we can both agree to a basic privacy arrangement / deal in good faith. I prefer a constructionist approach and cooperation because, like, A, it makes both sides a bunch of money, and B, it connects our cultures. I'll be honest with you. I could be wrong about this, but China doesn't produce a lot in terms of culture. They had some things that do. They had a few things that do, but they got snuffed out. Some shows, a few musicians. They have BitDance and TikTok, but even those things aren't, like those last two especially, they're not really associated with China anymore. You know?
Yeah.
The U.S. is trying their damnedest to associate it with China, but that's kind of dumb, to be honest. I wish we used it more constructively. I wish we leveraged it to open China up to the world, to kind of break down its firewall.
No.
But no, we're going this route. We're going the war route.
We're going war.
Yep.
No Chinese app over here, but they don't allow it over there. So we're just playing fair biting, fair game. It's all fair baseball here, all right?
I mean, you guys you guys have a massive
China,
gray market.
America.
You know what would be great? You guys have a massive gray market for Apple products, like China does. They have a huge market. People really love Apple.
A lot of good products.
Well, no, they have a gray market for Apple products.
Yeah.
They love Apple products. They have Xiaomi stuff. Xiaomi stuff's really good. In fact, Xiaomi, outside of like the West, is like the world's leading brand. So it would just be really interesting to watch them actually compete in an open marketplace.
Yeah.
Versus this weird, like, kind of fiefdom type shit we're doing where
well, imagine if they
Apple
did this
can be
with trucks, with cars.
Oh, dude, American companies would lose so bad.
Chinese EV trucks would dominate in America.
Shit, even those micro trucks that still run on gas.
But America would have to face the problem
of other countries just making really good cheap EV cars. Our EV market wouldn't even exist anymore. I mean, it doesn't even exist now. I mean, like, okay, we'll talk about it. It's a complete off.
So is this just in a way just America protecting, you know?
Yeah.
Protecting our industries.
Oh, yeah.
I think if we're already doing it with cars...
Economic warfare.
Then, you know, we're going to do it with this.
But that's the problem, though. It's like, you can have economic warfare, you can have economic cooperation. And I genuinely think economic cooperation will make us more money. Because it's like, well, now we built more systems.
But then you lose a bunch of industries where they're part of important states for you to win your presidency.
Oh, for sure.
It's like you give up, you know, like American steel, you're giving up, like, you know, a bunch of states.
Do you want high-paying jobs? Do you want high-paying jobs, or do you want cheap trucks? Do you want cheap vehicles and cheap products? It's like...
Yeah, because if America just let it all go, especially with trucks... How hit would Ford manufactured plants be?
Toyota would be fine.
Yeah, Toyota would be fine.
Ford kind of deserves to kick the bucket.
Ford, General Motors.
Most of the American domestic stuff would probably go out the way.
Chevy ain't living.
You know what would probably happen? They'd probably combine into one company.
Well, I think for the most part, they're under the same... A lot of them are under the same banner.
Okay. So they're basically already there. They would just go the final step. And just combine their resources.
I don't know. I guess they would still be around. They would just have to change their pricing model.
Make smaller vehicles. Hey, maybe they'll actually compete.
Well, that's the magic of competition.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, being a leftist that I am, I'm not entirely against competition for so-called luxury goods. At least not right now. Look, we're not in the perfect space utopia, so like. Right now, I'd rather have a better market. But then, do you want your whole, shitty one.
Auto industry being basically held by the sway of a foreign country?
Ideally, China would also be outcompeted by other countries too.
Like if China did huge tariffs on this, or if something happened in China where they can no longer get us those vehicles, we would be basically at the whim of their country.
In a way of speaking, yeah. So that means we would have to develop a better supply chain. But there are other countries that make cars now. There are more people getting into cars, specifically like the EV hybrid car market. Like Vietnam's getting into it, and a few other, I think Czech's getting into it. Like a lot of countries are getting into it. Like little, you know. So it's like, it really depends. But yeah, no, like you hit it on the head with what you said. Like this is just America protecting its industry, because a lot of people brought it up. Like, why is it okay for TikTok to spy when all the companies do it? And well, like that's why, because America can get more money and influence off of its own companies than TikTok. Which TikTok might that might be the one thing we're wrong about. You know, I said earlier that China, people don't kind of associate TikTok and China. Maybe they do. Maybe that's just a generational thing. Maybe older people legitimately do associate TikTok more with China.
Yeah.
That might be a legit thing. I don't know. I haven't asked any old people yet, but it seems like a lot of the old ass fucking politicians do. So we will see. Anyway, is there anything else to say, or
no? I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
China bad.
China bad.
Bad China. China, why don't you be good?
Because they don't want to be good. They want to be bad.